tuned in.
You are now tuned into
the realest show on YouTube with your host, the Angryman.
What's good? What's going on, everybody? We back in the building yet again. About to get into this topic. What are we talking about today? Well, in today's episode, we dive into the three major stories making waves in the news, from Sexy Red's vehement denial of her involvement in the airport brawl, to Dr. Umar Johnson's controversial critique of the black community's response to P. Diddy's allegations and misconduct, and finally, Hunter Biden's historic conviction on felony charges. Will explain the details, the reactions, and the broader implications of these headline-grabbing events. Make sure you guys hit the like button as you come in. Make sure you guys hit the Cash App and support the show. Shout out to La Paris, said, just a little support, keep motivating the real ones. I appreciate you. Shout out to KGY coming through, showing some love. Appreciate you. Before we get into this topic, I need you guys to press 1 in the chat room if you're going to be one of the supporters of the show on the Cash App side of the game. Hit a 1 in the chat room to let me know that you're actually going to support the show. And for the quote of the day is, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to chop it up, trust and believe. Right after we get some support, you feel me? Yo, shout out to my man Abdul coming through yet again for the double up.
That's that. That's that. BINO energy.
Shout out to Tootie Bug. Appreciate you. Let me get Tootie Bug a wrench. Shout out to Chris coming through. Appreciate you. No, don't try to hide it from me. They're trying to hide the Sexy Red video from me, y'all. Yo, shout out to Anwar. He said, holla, holla, holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, 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 holla. Holla, holla, holla. Oh, let's see. Really? I don't see it. They don't want to show it. It's all good. It don't make no difference because we still gonna talk about it. So, for those of you that don't know, Sexy Red has denied involvement in the brawl at Newark Liberty International Airport. despite video evidence appearing to show her participating. She refuted the claim on social media, insisting it wasn't her in the footage. Now, how ridiculous is this? There's literally surveillance footage that shows a chaotic brawl in Newark Airport, and Sexy Red is definitely there with a bonnet on her head and everything. Now they're saying, oh, a woman resembling Sexy Red wearing a red bonnet appeared to grab a stand during the fight. Despite the video evidence, Sexy Red denied her involvement on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. She was arrested for disorderly conduct while others faced assault charges. So why would she get disorderly conduct, but everybody else got assault charges, right? So already the goofiness, right? Multiple individuals sustained minor injuries during the melee. Sexy Red insists the woman in the video was not her. Media outlets like TMZ confirmed her involvement despite her denial. First of all, and shout out to Lamont, he said, love the show, bro, appreciate you. First of all, let's be honest about it, right? Sexy Red. It's not like we can't, like, first of all, you're an individual that has numerous tattoos on your body, right? So it's not like it's going to be difficult to identify you. You feel me? Shout out to David. Appreciate you. It's not like it's going to be difficult to identify you, right? And look, here's my thing with the whole situation. My thing with the whole situation is, why is she only getting disorderly conduct? Now, hold on. Let me show y'all the video and y'all tell me if y'all think it's Sexy Red. Let's pull this video up real quick. I know it's her. I know it's her. I know it's her just by her face. I know it was her. Shout out to Omar. Omar said, I've been locked in, AM, sending you great energy, trust. Appreciate you, broski. So let's pull this video up, man. So, already off the rip, you see this person right here? See this person right here with these thick eyebrows that got, you know, that got a mug like a prize fighter? We know this is you, Sexy Red. Look at that red bonnet. Look at the red bonnet. And I may be wrong, but are these advertisement shirts? Are those literally shirts advertising something? So we're supposed to believe that this is just a random person with a group of people that are wearing the same shirts that look like promo shirts that look like they have her face on it. Like, what? Shout out to Ant for the membership. Like, what are we talking about here? There you go. There go the niggatry. There go the foolishness. Let's get it. Let's get it. Ah. They should have never gave you niggas money. Oh, there go the swing. Somebody got swung on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Uh-oh, there she go again. One dude got a fire extinguisher. Look, he getting arrested. Getting arrested. You got a knot on your head too, bro.
What's up, everybody?
Now, are we supposed to believe that that's not Sexy Red? How many of y'all think that that was not Sexy Red? Hold on, I gotta ask. Was that Sexy Red in the video? Was that Sexy Red in the video? They out there, they up in the airport acting a fool, y'all.
Yeah! They squabbling out there now. Yeah!
I don't know what's going on with y'all, but you can't be squabbling in the airport. Not post 9/11. You can't be cutting up in, yo, bro, let me tell you something. There's a lot of stuff I will do. But you know the one thing I won't do? The moment I get on the property of the airport, I'm not doing nothing. You feel me? I'm not going, I'm the kindest, most peaceful person you ever want to meet at the airport and on the plane, because I'm not trying to get banned. Like, bruh, they don't play about that crap. You get to cutting up at the airport and showing out at the airport, bruh, they will ban you. And you won't be able to fly nowhere. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. You might not think it matters, but bruh, getting put on a no-fly list, that's nasty work, bruh. That's nasty work. Like getting grounded, like to where you can't fly nowhere, bruh. That's like somebody sending you back to the dark ages, bro. Like you won't even be able to leave the country unless you're going to Canada, and nobody wants to go to Canada. Like literally nobody wants to go to Canada. Shout out to David. David said that's a major privileged mentality doing that. Yeah, bro, look. And then they're gonna give her disorderly conduct. Man, lock her ghetto, ratchet, ignorant behind up, man. Why everybody else getting locked up, but she not getting locked up? See, I'm gonna tell y'all some real spiel, right? I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. When you see Sukiana get caught with drugs and then she get a slap on the wrist, and then you see Sexy Red getting into a full-on brawl in the airport where she literally picked up something and tried to hit somebody with it, and the only thing she got was disorderly conduct. What do y'all think that is? If you had to guess, what do you think that is if you had to guess? Like if it was you, if it were you, and you were in the airport engaging in that type of behavior, what do you think they would do? Not only are they going to press charges on you for assault, but you probably going to get put on a no-fly list. You probably going to get put in a situation where you can't go, you can't go to airports. Jaquan says she's being protected. That, hey, that's what it feel like. That's what it feel like. That's what it feel like to me. Yo, shout out to Michelle. Michelle said the hemoglobins and haberdasheries.
Now, what in the haberdasheries and hemoglobin is going on here?
Oh my goodness. Shout out to a sower of seeds said Jersey does not condone this foolishness. I don't know about that. It is Jersey after all. I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if that statement will stand up to scrutiny, sir. Because there's a lot of foolishness in Jersey. I'm just saying. There's a whole lot of foolishness going down in Jersey. Yo, shout out to Carell. Appreciate you.
$50 boss up. Stack up and match up.
Carell said the niggerosity and the support for it is stunning. Bro, the fact that we're not condemning this behavior is mind-boggling. Do you know there are people on TikTok right now making jokes about this? They're making jokes about it. Like, do you realize, in all honesty, in all seriousness, right? Do you guys realize that this new generation of black people, I'm not going to put the millennials in that boat, maybe the younger ones, the younger millennials, but this new generation of black folk is like setting us back 250 years. Do y'all realize that? Like, in all honesty, when you think about the overall behavior, they are literally setting us back 250 years, bruh. Dominique said, just 250? Man, look, I was trying to be kind. I was trying to be kind and moderate, but the reality is, bro, like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, right? But again, this is the group of, this is the most unprotected. Remember that. This woman right here. Let me rewind it back. Let's rewind it back. This woman right here that is surrounded by black men. I think that's a light-skinned brother or a Latin brother. I'm not sure. This is definitely a brother. That's definitely a brother. This woman right here that's surrounded by these people that are protecting her. You feel me? They're the most unprotected group. Right? The most unprotected. Look at that. Look at how they're not protecting her. That's crazy. That is crazy how they're not protecting her. That is amazing. Look at how they're not protecting her. Oh my God, he grabbed her and moved her out of the way. Wow. Look at how they are not protecting her. Oh my goodness. What are they saying about this situation on TikTok?
Y'all, it's your boy DJ D-Soul, and it's time to discuss some hip-hop news now. It is time for...
Diesel, what the hell happened today?
And a lot of stuff happened today. Y'all, we got to start off with some sad news. Former 1017 artist...
Man, you ain't talking about nothing, bro. You ain't talking about nothing, bro. Look, the only commentary on this is everybody making fun of it. That's the only thing. The only commentary is everybody making fun of it. Like, not even making fun of her for being ratchet. Like, it's like they're making fun of the idea that she did something wrong. So like they got videos with her song and they green screened it, and so they're in the airport doing a dance, talking about some gone sexy, do your thing. Like nobody, like not a single soul that I can see is saying, yo, this is ridiculous. This behavior is crazy. Why is she acting like this? You feel what I'm saying? Why is she acting like why is this woman so ghetto? Why is it her and her eyebrows don't know how to act like they got some sense? That's what I need somebody to explain to me. Wow, 90%. So there's 10% of you niggas that think that wasn't her in the video? Oh my God. That lets you know right there that we got 10%. We got 10%, well, 9%. That lets you know right there that 9% of the people that's watching this show can't stand my ass. Like, they just want to say, okay, you know what? Let's disagree with Angryman just to do it. You feel what I'm saying? But getting back to what I was saying with this lunatic right here. Like, why is it her and her eyebrows don't know how to act like she got some common sense? Why? Somebody explain it to me. Why? It's freaking ridiculous, man. But anyway, speaking of Negroes that don't know how to act like they got sense, did y'all hear about your boy Dr. Umar Johnson? How many of y'all heard about him and what he had to say? Hit a 1 in the chat room if you heard about Umar Johnson and what he had to say. Let me pull up the video of good old Dr. Umar, because you know we love it when he has something to say. He said, oh my God, there's a roach on the plane. Wow. That's crazy. So Dr. Umar Johnson criticized the black community's response to a video involving P. Diddy and his ex-girlfriend Cassie, suggesting the reaction has been insufficient. He questions whether Cassie seeks monetary compensation or true justice and calls out prominent figures for their silence. Dr. Umar Johnson criticized the black community's reaction to the video. Of course, we all know the video, shows P. Diddy, giving Cassie the business in that hotel room, in the hotel lobby, the hotel hallway. So Dr. Umar, he's questioning Cassie's motives, suggesting that she just might be after some money. Who knows? Maybe he's right. Maybe he's not right. But that's not really what we're honing in on, right? He believes the black community should demand more accountability. Accountability for who? Accountability for men. That's right. That's right. Remember when we said that when this P. Diddy and Cassie situation happened, they were going to try to figure out some kind of way to put what P. Diddy did on all black men, right? Remember that? Remember I said that? I said the unfortunate part of P. Diddy doing what he did, it's not going to be on P. Diddy. He's not going to be the only one that has to be held accountable for this. They're going to figure out some kind of way to make it the fault of all black men. And surprisingly enough, I don't know why I'm surprised, The person leading the charge on that narrative is Dr. Umar Johnson. He believes the black community should demand more accountability, specifically of black men. Dr. Umar also criticized Pastor T.D. Jakes for not addressing relevant issues. Why? I don't know. That shows you just how delusional Umar is. You really thought that T.D. Jakes was going to speak up against P. Diddy? His views are controversial and not representative of the entire community. We know this. But we also know that Dr. Umar Johnson is a known race baiter and loves to make provocative statements. So what were some of the statements that Dr. Umar said? Let's check out what Umar had to say. What Umar had to say. Umar, like every single time I say his name, I want to say it like that. Umar, Dr. Umar.
Oh, rap.
Dr. Umar Afatunde, Toyota Tundra. I don't know. How do you pronounce his name? How do you pronounce his last name? Ifatunde? Ufatuna Day? I don't know how to pronounce it, bruh. But let's listen to what he had to say. I'm not gonna pull it up on the screen because you know how I go with the copyright stuff and all of that Smidak. So we're not even gonna do that. I'm gonna just play the sound. Check out what he had to say.
But I gotta ask you, what was your reaction when you seen the video of Diddy attacking Cassie?
Okay. The trials and tribulations of Sean Puffy Combs in the Cassie debacle. Here's what I'm going to say. I want to respond to your question on the Diddy.
I'm sorry. I gotta pause it, man. This dude is so full of it till it's not funny. Like every time he starts to speak, like I just immediately get this feeling of, okay, here we go with the bullshit. Like immediately, bruh. Yo, before we play this, man, before we go into this, man, if you just coming in here, hit the like button, hit the Cash App and support the show, man. I need 10 people to hit the Cash App and support the show. Press 1 in the chat room if you're gonna be one of the 10 to hit the Cash App, bruh. Hold on, my man Malika said, Angryman, Dr. Umar, the fuck nigga, today, all day. Oh my God. Dr. Umar, the fuck nigga today, all day. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh my God. Let's play this shit, bruh. Oh. Oh.
But I gotta ask you, what was your reaction when you seen the video of Diddy attacking Cassie?
Okay. The trials and tribulations of Sean Puffy Combs in the Cassie debacle. Here's what I'm going to say. I want to respond to your question on the Diddy situation. Morally and ethically, and then I want to respond to it legally and procedurally, because I believe they're separate. American law isn't based on justice. We know that. American law isn't based on righteousness. We know that. American law isn't based on morality or ethics. We know that. So I have to respond with the moral side as a black man watching a black man not only put his hands, but also put his feet on a woman. And I don't care what color the woman is, no woman should ever be harmed by a man. I don't care if she's red, black, blue, purple, or brown. No woman should ever be assaulted by a man. And I can't say that enough. So
notice he didn't say white. That nigga ain't, bruh, notice he didn't say white. You gotta listen when that Negro talking, bruh. You gotta listen when that Negro is talking.
So from a moral perspective, from a black man perspective, what Sean Puffy Combs did by not only putting hands, but also putting feet on that woman and then dragging her down the hallway is unacceptable. It is reprehensible. It was absolutely disgusting, grotesque, and to some degree, unforgivable.
It was absolutely reprehensible. Look at his face, bruh. Look at his face, bruh. Look at his face. Will somebody please tell this Negro to comb his hair? Jesus, bruh. Just comb your hair, bruh.
I'm 10 toes down with the black community on the fact that what Puffy did was without question conduct unbecoming a man, let alone a role model. You have no argument from me on that point. I want to be clear on that. Wrong, wrong, wrong. But now I have to turn the mirror on Black America.
Uh-oh. He can't just put it on Puffy. He got to put it on Black America too. The Trinity girl to the bow said, thank you for your hard work, AM. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man, Dog Power. Appreciate you. He can't just leave it on Puffy. No, we got to put it on Black America. Let's hear what you got to say about Black America, Umar.
And I have to ask Black America a very serious question.
Uh-oh.
Are you really against domestic violence?
Uh-oh.
Or are you simply glorying in the downfall of a very successful rap mogul and you're using the domestic violence incident as a justification to celebrate his fall from grace? And the reason I have to ask this question, Art, is because 40% of black women in America are domestically abused every day in this country.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. Tell me you didn't know that was coming. Tell me that you did not know that talking point was coming. Now here's the interesting thing. If he's talking about DV, if he's talking about domestic violence, it's already been proven that that is 50-50. So for you to sit up there and highlight the fact, because the way he's making it seem, he's making it seem like dudes is just out here just going ham on women. You feel what I'm saying? Like women never assault nobody, right? He just, this dude is unbelievable, bruh.
40%, that's almost half the black women in this country are victimized by their lovers, their husbands, their boyfriends, their baby dads, their fiancés. So if black men are appalled by Puff Daddy's behavior, if black women are appalled by Puff Daddy's behavior, why do we have so much domestic violence in the black community? Let me ask it another way.
I don't know, Umar. I have a question for you, brother. I got a question for you. The way you're presenting that, we literally can flip a coin to determine whether or not you engaged in it too. Am I wrong? Like, the funniest thing about this is you do a lot of finger pointing, bro. Like, you do realize you're part of the black community too. So the question is, are you engaged in that behavior, bro? Like, not to mention the fact that not every black relationship is man on woman. There are women that are in relationships with other women.
You want Puffy to suffer for what he did, and he should. But did you call the police when you heard your son beating his girlfriend up upstairs? Did you you call the police when you heard your nephew choking out his girlfriend last?
Your son, your nephew. You heard what he said, right? Did you call the police when your son was beating up his girlfriend? Did you call the police when your nephew was choking out his girlfriend?
Week, did you call the police when you heard your grandfather smacking up your grandmother?
Your grandfather.
In the back room. See, I cannot condone hypocrisy, Art.
He can't condone hypocrisy, right? So here's my question, since he can't condone hypocrisy. My question is this. I like how you just pathologized all black men. You know what's hilarious about this? What's hilarious about this is the Negro that loves to talk about supremacy. You know what one of the main things back in the day that supremacy used to perpetuate about black men? That we were violent women abusers. Do y'all realize that was part of the propaganda? Do y'all realize that back in the day, one of the labels that was put on black men, aside from being sexually depraved, womanizers and thieves and criminals, was that we abused the women. So not only is he sitting there doing the same exact thing, and we all know the stats. We know the stats. We know he's full of it, right? So not only is he sitting there doing the same thing, but he's also advocating for black people to call the police on other black people. And keep in mind, at the beginning of his discussion, in this very interview, what did he say? We all know the criminal system is not based on justice. We all know the laws in this country is not based on right and wrong. So if you know that the law is not based on right and wrong, and you believe that the justice system is corrupt, then why would you make a suggestion that somebody call the police that are literally the enforcers of the justice system that you claim is corrupt? Ain't you one of the Negroes that be running around here crying about the police shooting somebody? I mean, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Like, this is the same Negro that will call the police force corrupt. He'll call the justice system corrupt. He'll say that the laws are not based in righteousness and morality. But in the same breath, and look, I'll rewind it back. I'll rewind it back.
On that point, I want to be clear on that. Wrong, but also put his feet on a have to respond with the moral side as a black man watching a black man into it legally and procedurally, because I believe they're separate. American law isn't based on justice. We know that. American law isn't based on righteousness. We know that. American law isn't based on morality or ethics. We know that. So I have to respond with the moral side. Call the police when you heard your son beating his girlfriend up upstairs? Did you call the police when you heard your nephew choking out his girlfriend last week? Did you call the police when you heard your grandfather smacking up your grandmother in the back room? See, I cannot condone hypocrisy, Art. I can't condone hypocrisy. If we are this adamant against domestic abuse, why is it so prevalent in the black community? Do you know that a black woman is 3 times as likely to be murdered partner than a white woman? 3 times as likely.
He said a B-dub is 3 times as likely to be deleted by their partner as a white woman. I'm going to show y'all how Negroes play with the numbers. I'm going to show you how they play with the numbers. Shout out to David. He said he is the epitome of contradiction and hypocrisy, bro. I'm going to show you how Negroes play with the numbers. Right? I'm going to show you how they play with the numbers. What percentage of the population in America do black people make up? What percentage of the population do black people make up? %. Somebody do me a favor. That person in the chat room, LJ Jr., whatever, kick that person out of the chat room. They've been saying little slick things this whole time. And the fact that you just said a lot lets me know you in here trolling. Thank you. We're like 13% of the population. So here's my question for you guys. If we make up 13% of the population, we could literally be doing the same amount of things as the white population, but it will seem like we do it more because there's less of us. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, I'll give you a prime example, right? Because he just sat there and said, a B-dub is 3 times more likely to be deleted than a white by their lover than a white woman, right? So let me ask you guys this question. If you had a country that only had 2 black men in the whole country, right? It had 2 black men in the whole country and 100 white men in that country, right? 10 of those 100 white men commit crimes, but only 1 of the black men commits crimes. Now, if you look at the number that are committing crimes, you would say there are more white men in that country committing crimes than black men, unless you say it in a different way. You say 50% of the black men in this country commit crimes, while only 10% of the white men commit crimes. You see how that works? I just gave you 2 factual statements that give you 2 different scenarios. I just gave you 2 factual statements based on numbers, but the way I use the numbers paints a narrative. This is how Negroes, this is how people, not just black folk, but this is how people play games with the numbers. Now, I'm not condoning DV. I'm not condoning people being assaulted. I think it's wrong and it should be stopped. But I tell you what I'm tired of. I'm tired of Negroes like this that love to pathologize the entire black collective instead of just calling out the individuals that are doing the wrong. You feel what I'm saying? This situation between Puffy and Cassie ain't got a damn thing to do with nobody but Puffy and Cassie. It ain't got nothing to do with the black community as a whole. P. Diddy did something, hold him accountable or shut up. Like, we don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear this. Part of the reason black men are in an unfortunate situation is because every single time one of us does something wrong, it has to reflect on all of us. We don't do that with no other group of people. We don't do that with no other group of people. When Harvey Weinstein got convicted and hemmed up, nobody said, see, that's how white men operate. Nobody put that on all of them, as they shouldn't. But every time somebody, so Puffy did something like, oh, R. Kelly do something, oh, see how black men operate? See how black men move?
And I don't have to tell you, you watch the news. This whole year has been a killing spree.
Shout out to Ambush. He said he's advocating to call police on only black men. Of course. Of course.
Against black women.
This nigga said, yo, they keep pushing this lie. They keep pushing this lie. You know something? I want y'all to think about it, right? Because we got a good amount of people in here. We got about 764 people in here, right? We got a decent amount of people, right? This is what I want you to think about. I want you to think about this. I want every person in here to think about this. Think about your life, the people you know. Do you know a lot of women in your life recently that got deleted by their boyfriend or husband? Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because look, Tree said, yeah, and I believe her. MJB said only one. I believe him. But the majority of the people have not experienced that. I can tell you right now, I don't know. I know some women that's done deleted their man. I know some women that have deleted their man, and I know some men that have been deleted because they were messing with somebody's woman. I know dudes that's lost their life because a woman set them up. I know dudes that's lost their life because they got into it with the other guy that their wife was cheating with. I even know dudes that got deleted by their girlfriend. But we keep hearing this lie being told over and over again because they think if they keep telling this lie, we're going to believe it. And do you want to know? Do you want to know the reason why? Do you want to know the strategy behind this lie? You want to know the strategy behind this lie? Press 1 if you want to know the strategy behind this lie. When did you first start hearing this lie? I want you to really think about that. Did you notice you didn't start hearing this lie or this statement, oh, B-dubs are being unalived every 4 hours? You know when you first started hearing this? When black men first started coming to the internet and trying to hold them accountable. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me that you did not hear this rhetoric until black men started coming to the internet and trying to hold these women accountable. Shout out to Beastly Nerd, said it's because of this type of rhetoric that brothers like Jonathan Majors get railroaded. We have to separate the ones who are legitimately doing wrong from the ones who aren't. You did not hear this. I didn't even hear this rhetoric. When I first came to YouTube, I didn't even hear that. I never heard that. I never heard nobody say nothing about that. It wasn't until brothers like Kevin Samuels and all of these different guys started really getting international attention that all of a sudden you start hearing that. Like, for instance, I'll give you a prime example, right? I'll give you a prime example. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you the lie they running with. Watch this.
I think The most dangerous thing to black women right now is a black man with a microphone and a podcast.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? She said, I think the most dangerous thing to a B-dub is a black man with a microphone and a podcast. No. Let me tell you what the most dangerous thing is for everybody. Let me tell you what the most dangerous thing. And see, the funniest thing about it is if dudes really are unaliving B-dubs every 4 hours, then the most dangerous thing to B-dubs would not be a podcast. It would be violent men. So which one is it? I said this a while back. And people can argue me down if you want to. I really don't care. Here's the reality. The reality is, if brothers were that savage, if brothers were really that savage, how terrified would these women be of brothers? And if you know, like I know, if you know anything about the culture, you should know this fact. They are not afraid of brothers. If you don't know nothing else, if you know anything about the culture, you know they ain't afraid of y'all.
I've seen more black women murdered this
nigga's lying through his teeth.
Who are taking black women on dates, beheading.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. This Negro, I can't even play what he's saying because it's so ridiculous. I can't even play what he's saying because it's so ridiculous. I'm not even going to play what he said. He literally said that brothers are taking women on dates and decapitating them. Like, where is this happening at? Where is this happening? I haven't seen a single story in the news like that. Shout out to Dapper Dons. He said, especially when DV in America is bi-directional AM. Shout out to Dr. Tia Johnson and Dr. Tommy Curry for calling this out. Yeah. But anyway, let's get to this last topic. So, for those of you that don't know, Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, was found guilty on 3 felony charges related to purchasing a handgun in 2018. He faces up to 25 years in prison, though a maximum sentence is unlikely for a first-time offender. Now, that's funny. We're going to get back to that in a second, right? So, he lied on a federal form about being an unlawful drug user when buying the gun. So like I said, he's facing up to 25 years, and they're saying it's unlikely that he will get a jail sentence because he's a first-time offender, which is hilarious because that's paralleling, that's running parallel to Donald Trump's case, where Donald Trump is a first-time offender, but I guarantee you they're going to try to recommend jail time for Donald Trump, right? It says the trial exposed intimate details of his personal life and addiction struggles, but we all knew this, right? President Biden expressed support, but respected the judicial process. Of course he did. Of course he did, right? The guilty verdict is a significant legal setback during President Biden's re-election campaign. Hunter Biden's legal team plans to appeal, citing Second Amendment rights. Now, here's the interesting thing about this, right? I don't believe that this was genuine. And the reason why I say that is because there's been a lot of rumors floating around about him for a while now. And no charges were brought against him. It wasn't until they started prosecuting Trump that now all of a sudden, see, I think, in my humble opinion, I think they did this for optics. I think they did it to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they're railroading Donald Trump the way they're railroading him. This is ridiculous. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, but are you trying to say that Joe Biden is corrupt? Are you trying to say that Joe Biden weaponized the DOJ against Trump? Well, if he had that kind of power, don't you think he would keep his son out of trouble? Right? President Biden expressed support but respected the judicial process. This was for optics. Let's not even front. This was for optics. This was to say, oh, you know, Joe Biden respects the legal process because, look, his son got convicted. His son got convicted. If Joe Biden had the type of power to go after Trump, then wouldn't he have the same type of power to keep Hunter out of trouble? That's all this is, bro. They threw Hunter under the bus to justify the prosecuting of Donald Trump. The only problem is it's gonna backfire in their face if they don't give Hunter, if they try to say, oh, well, he's a first-time offender, so he shouldn't get any jail time, but then turn around and try to give Donald Trump, a first-time offender, jail time. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, it's all backfiring. It's all backfiring because people are just tired of all of it. Like, everybody's sick of all of it. I tell you what I'm looking forward to, though. I'm looking forward to this debate between Trump and Joe Biden. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the debate between Trump and Joe Biden. I gotta, like, yo, I don't know if y'all have seen lately, but every time Joe Biden gives a speech now, bruh, I can't even understand what he's saying. Shout out to David. He said first time offense doesn't make it okay for all the slow people. Facts. Half the time I can't even understand what he's saying, bruh. Said Hunter is the sacrifice to justify the Trump issue. Yep. Like, bruh. Wow. Get the F out of here. Lack of decency. Republicans attack Hunter Biden guilty verdict, maintaining the DOJ is weaponized.
But we begin tonight with Justice for All, an ideal enshrined in the motto on the Department of Justice seal, qui pro domina justitia sequitur in Latin, or roughly, he who takes legal action on behalf of Lady Justice. The phrase expresses the ideal of a system of justice in which every American is equal before the law. But if you ask MAGA Republicans, that entire system, state and federal, has been weaponized entirely against one man.
Last week's verdict in New York shows how corrupt, rigged, and un-American the weaponized justice system has become under Joe Biden and Democrats.
It's impossible for anybody to deny that looks at this objectively, that the judicial system in our country has been weaponized against President Trump.
This is a justice system that hunts Republicans while protecting Democrats. This was certainly a hoax, a sham.
The conspiracy calls have become so loud and repetitive that Attorney General Merrick Garland felt the need to speak out today and rebuke the resulting threats against the DOJ and the public servants who serve there. In a Washington Post op-ed,
so she's basically going to show where all of the Republicans have been saying that the system is corrupt and the DOJ has been weaponized and it's been weaponized against Trump. And then after she says all of that, she's then going to turn and say, well, if that's the case, then how did Hunter Biden get found guilty? Do they really think that the American public is that stupid? Like this shit. Bruh, this is like clockwork. I knew the moment that they found Hunter guilty, they was going to run this play. Do they really think the American public is that dumb? Michelle said Biden won't make another 4, and I damn sure don't want a B-dub to stand in his place. I'll be OV.
Garland wrote, these heinous threats of violence have become routine in an environment in which the Justice Department is under attack like never before. Garland specifically mentioned attacks on the special counsel's prosecution of Donald Trump. Now, he could easily have included the state prosecutors, judges, and anyone else involved in any way in holding Donald Trump accountable for his...
Shout out to Beasley Nerd said, and because it's a federal crime, Joe can still pardon Hunter on the back end. Yeah.
Alleged crimes, as well as their families who've also faced vicious threats from MAGA fans. But that's not in Merrick Garland's purview because he doesn't supervise state prosecutions, only federal ones. Look it up. It's in the Constitution. So in defense of those federal prosecutors, he added, we will not be intimidated by these attacks. But it is absurd and dangerous that public servants, many of whom risk their lives in federal trial, tied to his purchase and possession of this is taking place as a jury today have long guided the Justice Department's work. And speaking of that work, all of this is taking place as a jury today found Hunter Biden guilty on all counts in his federal trial, tied to his purchase and possession of a gun while using drugs. Like Trump, he faces potential jail time. So let's take a moment to unpack how ironic this is, given all the huffing and puffing from the right.
Oh, yeah, it's so ironic with your bought and paid for behind. It's so ironic. Like, we can literally predict what you're going to say, Joy. We can literally predict it.
Right. Irony number one involves taking a look at how different the trials of Donald Trump in New York and Hunter Biden in Delaware played out, and who was present for them. Hunter Biden was surrounded at his federal trial by loved ones, including his mom.
Okay, I'm not listening to no more of this. I refuse. I refuse. Oh my God, bruh, just no. Just no integrity. None. Absolutely no integrity. I can't even watch it. I can't even watch it. She's so full of it. Like, yo, I'm sitting here wondering, are there Americans that fall for that crap? Are there any Americans that actually fall for that crap? I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. I can't watch it. Jesus. Just no scruples whatsoever. Yo, shout out to Shakedown. He said fact. Just no integrity whatsoever. Just straight up bull. Like, oh my God. Thank God. Let me tell you something. Thank God for all of the content creators that call this BS out, man. Because look, I took a break from being the street conservative, and I ain't gonna front. I gotta salute all of the dudes that call this stuff out, like my man, the real A-Dog. Like, it's so many of them. I can't even name all of them, man. Shout out to Kingdom Reacts. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the real A-Dog. Who else? Who else calls this crap out? What's my man's name? He got a funny voice. He got a funny little voice. I can't think of his name. Dang, I can't think of his name. Oh, definitely shout out to the Hodge twins, man. Y'all don't even realize the Hodge twins are really the dudes that made me want to start YouTube. The Hodge twins are the dudes. Oh, Black Conservative Perspective. Shout out to him. Shout out to Black Conservative Perspective. Shout out to him. Shout out to the real A-Dog, Black Conservative Perspective. Kingdom Reacts. Who else? There's another dude, white guy. He's called something in exile. What's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. So-and-so in exile. I can't think of his name. Damn, I can't think of his name. White guy. He was on the Fannie Willis, Doug in exile. Shout out to Doug in exile. Shout out to Doug in exile. Shout out to the real A-Dog. Shout out to Kingdom Reacts. Shout out to Black Conservative. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of guys I watch. There's a lot of guys I watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if any of them know me. I know the real A-Dog know me. Real A-Dog, he come through here all the time. He be in the chat or whatever, so shout out to him. I don't know if the Black Conservative Perspective knows me or not, but shout out to all them, bro. And there's a few others. There's a few others that I watch, man. They be on it. They be on it. I ain't even gonna front. They be calling it out, bro. They be calling it out, fam. And I be loving every minute of it. I ain't even gonna front. I be loving every minute of it. Who else? Trying to think of who else. There's a lot of dudes that be calling it out, man. And shout out to all the dudes that be doing the coverage on the Second Amendment and all of the challenges that be coming at the Supreme Court over the Second Amendment. Shout out to them too, man. Like, real talk. But anyway, man, I've been on here long enough. You feel me? Talking trash. The second topic went a little longer than I thought because I actually went on a rant about Black economics. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't mean for the, I gotta start timing myself. But yeah, I didn't mean for the Dr. Umar Johnson topic to delve off into a Black economics rant, but I don't know. Dr. Umar triggers me. He triggers the crap out of me. He really gets on my nerves, man. But to everybody, Officer Tatum, shout out to Officer Tatum too. Shout out to Officer Tatum too. But yo, man, I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for contributing to the show as always. Shout out to all the sponsors of the show. AV, if you're watching this, shoot me an email at askangryman@gmail.com. I don't know if she was still watching or not, but shoot me an email at askangryman@gmail.com. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get up out of here and holler at y'all later. Deuces.